it is sports. You win some, you lose some. Who says it has to be our right to always be at the World Cup? Italy has won the World Cup 4 times. They've not been to the World Cup 3 times. In fact, 12-year-old children in Italy have never seen Italy in the World Cup. So all of you just calm down. The Olympics are around the corner. I'm sure with the discussions going on between the NSA and the NFF to see how we can tweak the technical team of the Falcons. This is because we are desirous of ensuring that we qualify football for the Olympics. But again, if you are wallowing in the sadness of Super Falcon not qualifying, Nigeria is a great country. We cannot be defined by only football. We have so many sports that are doing well globally, and we must enjoy every sport.
Welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. I'm Ken Ochenago. You just heard him say we have other sports. But then I remember football being designated from the very top as a national sport. Of course, there are some of us who have said time and time again that no sport is superior to the other. But while we have other sports, defending their budget, football has their own head. Football go to the National Assembly. When you put NIS, you put the other federations. Football is not like other federations in Nigeria. We fund football about 1,000 times more than we fund. I remember once when Igali did say the Wrestling Federation on this show, we are giving 20 million in a year. 20 million budget. How many flight tickets that buy? That a player will collect $10,000, and you are telling me this. You see, there are times that these things come in. The Women's World Cup started in 1991 in Beijing, in China. 1991. We were there in 91, we were there in 95, we were there in 99, 2003, 2007, we were there, 2011, 2015, 2019, and this is the only time we are not going. But we see, we've already said it. Look, it is not about tournaments anyway, but that is one aspect. We missed we missed the World Cup in Canada, in Mexico, and also in the US of A. Check the movement of players now and see how players who played at the World Cup, which is what we benefited in 94 and 98. You understand? In 2000, our players go over there, the movements of our players, especially to France and other countries, because that is where you showcase the best talents come together. That's where you showcase your own talent. That is where the scouts come there. Everybody watch them. Billions of viewers, they're watching them play their trade. We've not been, but that is apart from that. What of the monies? Did you see how much they made? We're talking about that we don't have money. That's the part of our funding is our challenges. So in going to these tournaments these days, it's not just about saying, okay, we are qualifying, because we go there to go and earn hard currency, which we want to use in developing football. But even then, the ones that FIFA give to us, we've been asking ourselves, has they been judiciously spent? Have we used them the way it is supposed to be used? We tell you, because right now, some people have been called to come to account. But there is a battle for the soul of the football in Nigeria at the very top. There is a battle for the soul of the Nigerian Football Association, alias NFF, Nigerian Football Federation. There is a battle for that. And as we speak from reliable sources, I will be able to tell you that, of the 13 members that are right there, I think about 8 of them have put in their letters of resignation, which means this board might as well be on its way out. I don't know. I am for legitimating. I am for people following, how it is. They were elected at the end of their tenure. If they don't want to come back, to me, I don't believe in forcing people out. But if those who are there believe that, look, they have that vote of no confidence in themselves, in their performances, and they want to leave, it is all well and good. The thing is for the goodness of Nigerian football, for the goodness of Nigerian sport, for the betterment of what we all have been striving for, because somebody is holding it in trust for the Nigerian people. It is not your personal property. It is not your company that you have got to register. No, it is not. You are holding it in trust for us. Of course, Nigerian Football Federation started as private people came together in 1933, and that's part of the stubbornness of this FA. They keep on saying the NFF or the NFF were founded in 1945, while records show the date, the time, those who attended, that this thing took place started in 1933. So why? I mean, it calls to question. If you do not know your date of birth, what happens? But that is not it. Those are some of them. I don't want to say that they're part of the fundamentals, but I do believe that these things are, we've been accused of a lot of things. I remember Nigeria missing a lot of, junior tournaments were being banned because of, age discrepancies. So if the age of the NFA is in doubt, then all of the personality of the NFA. All right, we'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk a lot about that. But let's just go through what is happening right there. Of course, you guys have been waiting for the return of football after the World Cup, after everything, and then yes, our own football will start on the 28th. That is our own leagues. That is according to the AGM, which was certified. By next week, when we'll come here, we should be giving you updates on the because we have started on Friday. Shooting Stars will start that on Friday, just like the English League started on Friday with defending champions Arsenal sending Coventry into Coventry. So basically, that is what happened there. Manchester United came up the next time, and then they got it. Yeah, that is when you don't prepare. When you don't prepare to win, you're already there to fail. So the English leagues, and then of course the European League, not just the English League, the European leagues are all on. Mourinho is back for his second missionary journey at Real Madrid. The Italian Serie A everywhere starting, and then the leagues are still on. Today we'll try and see if we can get to those fixtures and whatever. And also the last Grand Slam of the year. It is not the worst. There's supposed to be the best, starting from Australia to France to Paris, from Paris to SW19 Wimbledon, and then you come in to Roland Garros, and that is where we are now, because it is not just about how do I say? It's not about the return of Carlos Alcaraz after 4 months. He missed Wimbledon, and he didn't just participate. And Yannick Sinner just went in there. It's a duopoly now, but now Yannick Sinner is missing this, and Alcaraz is back after 4 months off. But then there is also new talks. Alex Zverev, the man who won the French Open, to add to his repertoire. So basically, those are the things that we're talking about here. But then there is that big one in Roland Garros, the mixed doubles. Yes. Mixed doubles, because in one team there's going to be the legend with 39 majors. She has it. 23. She has 23 big ones, 23 singles. She has doubles and mixed doubles. 39 against the young talk Alcaraz, the prince of clay. Now, of course, she should be the king of clay. Carlos Alcaraz, and both of them will play in that mixed doubles, and that will be the excitement. That will be the highlight of the U.S. Open. Whoever wins it. Carlos is the defending champion, so basically he can go over there and get it done. You can't rule him out. You look at him, and it's like a mini Nadal, all action, and then prone to injuries, because that is what you do when you overwork the body. But this man is hyperventilated, he's hyperactive, and he goes for everything, and that is why we're looking at it. This year, he already has seven big ones already. When we are talking about the people like some of the great ones, we just calculated have 7-8 Grand Slam. At his young career, he already has 7 big ones in the kitty. So that is Serena Williams. She chased Margaret Court at 24, but it was not to be. She's out of retirement. 4 years she's been out of US Open. Retired in 2022, but 4 years later she's back. So one is coming back after 4 months. The other is coming back after 4 years, and they are coming together to give us, to entertain. In fact, their presence alone on court together is greatness. Forget what they are going to achieve when they get there. Okay, we are back to square one. We are back to where we started. We are back to what is going to unfold, because the Nigerian Football Association elections were fixed. I don't know, has been still fixed, not where, still fixed. So September the 27th. But things are not seen to be going the way. There's been calls. There have been calls, just like there are calls. Because CONCACAF, UEFA, and the Asian Football Federation has, they are putting their documents together to finally say we want to have a vote of no confidence on Infantino. That one is there. They have already written. Of course, Africa says we are standing on the wall. If you want to do elections, come. Let us not go to the palace school. Let us go and do the elections. So if this man, doesn't have 106. Remember, there are 211 nations, in FIFA. So if he doesn't have up to 106, which is 105 plus 1. I like that because this time there is no tiebreaker. 211 is odd, so there are no tiebreakers. So you either get the simple majority and proceed or not. So the magic figure, the magic number is 106. Can Infantino do that? That is what Africa, that's what Mustafa, representing the 54 nations in Africa, are saying, go and do this. But then Asia, UEFA and CONCACAF, 146 they have. Of course, there are still some, discordant tunes coming in there. Mexico, Argentina, from CONMEBOL saying, look, we are supporting this man and stuff like that. But then, can you, out of 146, you need to remove probably 20 or so, 20 dissenters before you can get that. Who says in the other blog votes those who are asking him to go will not have it? But then it is not for me to say. We are just putting it as it is so that you guys can envision what is happening. That is at FIFA level. But at the Nigerian level, they are also saying, okay, that's Infantino, and then there's the man, he's embattled, he's been trying to save his face. Of course, he did go to Morocco and then putting that executive team who stayed together and still giving that vote of confidence to say, look, we are still behind you. But the numbers are not saying the same thing the way we are saying it. With the numbers as it is, I think those who are going for him are actually going for the jugular. How do they get him? But this man is a fox with how many lives? Let's see if he can survive. But then, can the NFF survive? Can the NFF survive? Because of course they've already had the support of Infantino of FIFA. But if FIFA is embattled, how do you save the man who is also here? That is the irony. That is the irony of it all. From the round of FIFA. But like we said, this is Nigerian Federation 1945. But records show, yes, records show that this association was formed in 1933. Not 1945. The first meeting, from the first day they met, the minutes of the meeting are available. I think we'll show you one of the, probably by next week we'll be able to get that and bring it to you. But let's talk about Nigerian football here, and then I'm being joined by, so I don't know, with. He is a former Nigerian footballer. He played the game. Moved in, one of those that has the foresight to say, look, there should be a players' union, and then that terrain, and it was turbulence. It was, they moved on suddenly. That house, even till now, they go out and they come back. So it has been a house of chaos. And then, but then he now would look, let us normalize Nigerian football, and he's been fighting that cause. So there are. This man, it's either you like him or you hate him, because there are no divide about him. You can never be indifferent about who he is. So let's go to Warri to meet a prince of the Warri Kingdom, Harrison Jala. Harrison, how are you? How are you?
Very much. I'm good. I'm very well. I'm very well. I'm fine. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm enjoying myself. But let's see it. Before we go into the crux of the matter, Mr. Dela, go back to when you played football. You played in the league. Briefly tell us what's the league. What was it like when you played in the league? And what is it that you are not seeing that was there, even there with the administrators, with the players, and officiating a lot of things? The passion of the game. I don't know whether it has changed, whether it's still the same, but I want to hear, Nigerians want to hear, and the world, not just Nigerians, the entire world want to hear from the perspective of a man who was part of those days. Which how was it like? Which clubs did you play for, and how?
If you compare what happened in the past, in our time, you will see football as dead in this country. Because I remember a time when we came to play at Unicom Stadium, Sharks of Port Harcourt versus Stationary Stores. It was a hell of traffic, of fans from Apongo to Unicom Stadium. Yeah. It was the hell of a traffic because Stationary Store. You cannot compare those times to the situation we are now. People travel from all parts of the country to come and watch Rangers and Shooting Stars play FA Cup. They go as far as to Kaduna. They move to everywhere. Before you get to the stadium, If you are a fan, you don't get there by 2 o'clock or by 1 p.m., the place is filled up. So we have to ensure that we go back to those days. We were once rated 5th in the world in FIFA ranking. That was even before the 1994 World Cup. 12 years ago, it started falling dramatically. We won the Nations Cup in 2013. There was hope of reviving Nigerian footballers at that time. But 12 years ago, football, the graph started coming down, and it's coming down. And they are saying they want to retain the same system that is bringing it down. Again, in another 4 years, put Nigerians into all kinds of trauma. The number one sport in this country is football. There's nothing anybody can do about it. You know, so the issue here now is that Nigerians are asking for reforms. We started the advocacy for reform, that these reforms should come. But you see, it's glaring to all Nigerians now that we must reform. You know, because the football itself is dead. People came in to take over the administration of football. Their concentration was how they bring immigrants' children. You know, Nigerians that traveled out 20 years ago, 40 years ago, they brought their children in here, and they cannot cope. The best stars we have in Nigeria are those who started playing from this country, the Taribo West, the Daniel Amokachi, the JJ Okochas, the Wapoka. They started their career here. And we can go back to that same era to develop the grassroots and begin to bring players into the various national teams. You have a system that had 5 federating units to make up the Nigerian Football Federation. As we speak today, is the weakest link in that 5 units that is running Nigerian football for close to 20 years. And we say, no, this cannot continue. In Article 8.2 in the FIFA regulations, there is a clause. If you have this kind of problem, you set up a normalization committee to rectify it. It's there. FIFA does not even need to interfere in what we are doing. What we are doing is an internal issue. It has to do with Nigerian football. So nobody can say FIFA will come and interfere in what we are doing. FIFA has no business to come here because the issues.
No, but let me. No. I think let me ask you this, Mr. Jala. You said FIFA has intervened over and over again in Nigerian football affairs. You and I. But before we get there, before we get to that particular level, for the past maybe 15 to 20, the 2 decades so, you have been in the forefront of those who are fighting the system for a change. What is there in the system that is disagreeable to you and your group? What is it?
The first thing is to open up the system, Ken. Is to open up the system to
there is a statue. There is a statue. Nigerian government has a statue. So why is it not open up? There is, which the Congress at various times have passed and turned into the book that governs football in Nigeria. So is it not a legitimately a statue that was approved by the Congress, brought in by the various segments, including your players' union, who put that who formulated that particular statute?
No, you see, Ken, the statute didn't give any federating unit superiority over the other. It never did. Just go back to the statute and see. The statute didn't say, in fact, the statute said that all the federating units are equal and they are independent to organize themselves and do the things they want to do. There was nowhere in the statute that states that one group is superior to the other. What we are saying is that go back to the statute and follow it. The statute never said 37 FA chairmen to dominate the other federating units. It never said so. The statute is there for everyone to see. So what we are saying is that if you give equal representation to every unit, the organization, the administration of Nigerian football will be on a sound footing, because people who have the knowledge, you will give them opportunity to come in. Now they block the whole place. It is people, for instance, look at the chairman of our technical committee, Ken.
Yeah.
That same chairman is still the chairman of the marketing and strategic committee. It is only a federation that wants to fail that will appoint such a person. It's only a federation that wants to fail. If I was appointed into that committee, I would have resigned, because I cannot work under a novice in the first place. There are too many things that are wrong with our football. And the National Sports Commission should have the courage to carry out the reforms. It's a legitimate reform.
Okay,
okay,
go on. Somebody wants to say, go on.
These days have nothing to look up to. You know, football is the biggest thing that happens to Nigerian youth. Today they are discouraged because you have a set of people that want to perpetually remain there, doing just nothing, because they don't have the capacity as it stands now. If you go back, if this change does not come, the next 4 years it will even be worse.
Okay.
The next 4 years, we are not sure of going.
All right, let's go back. Of course, we've not been to the World Cup back to back, and then of course it is understandable if people feel very bad about that. But let us go back to this. The present board were legitimately put in place, and then to serve out their term, and any form of bringing them out by any other means is termed an interference by FIFA. You did talk about, you were jumping up to the normalization committee, which to me, from my understanding, can only be formed by FIFA. FIFA had the sole responsibility. Your NSC or Football Federation or Common can, I don't think you guys have the power or the right to do so. But that is not the issue here. Why don't you say, okay, wait till September the 27th and see if you can send them out. But then, you're already talking about the structure. They have expanded they have expanded the voting blocks that are supposed to come in there. Are you still not satisfied with let me say whatever ground that they gave to say, fine, it should not be just 37 out of 45, but then let's bring in the other bodies in, including the players union, which is your own constituency.
You see, Ken, that was a cosmetic change. And let me correct you.
Okay.
This present board is not a legitimate board.
What did you say?
In 2022.
Okay.
No, let me make it clear. It's not a legitimate board. In 2022, when the election was to be held in September 30th in Benin City, the courts, the lower courts, the federal high court stopped that election. The NFF went to Court of Appeal, and Court of Appeal said, okay, come back next week. Let me look at the propriety or otherwise of your complaint. In between that 1 week, they carried on with the election in Benin. The Court of Appeal, at this present board that is there, they have nullified that election. We are back to the Court of Appeal. This present election is still subject to litigation. We're in the Court of Appeal. You must do the right thing. We can't continue this way. We can't continue to be doing the wrong thing. Football has a lot of potential for Nigerian youth, and it is not what we can joke with. So don't call it it is not a legitimate board. We are challenging it in the Court of Appeal because it is there that went to Court of Appeal. We only went there to defend ourselves, and the Court of Appeal nullified it on the 19th of January 2024. Nullified.
Are you unaware? Are you unaware that this football matters according to FIFA can't be taken to normal court? There is you go through your yes. You go to your camp and then you go to your cast.
No, can you Google the Google FIFA and ask Google to tell you the number of cases they have within Europe? That's a farce. It's not true.
No, but that
We are
has. See,
operating in Nigeria.
you can talk about the corruption matters.
I'm
No,
not trying to correct.
okay, go on. All
It's a
right.
mischievous impression.
All right. Okay, go on.
It's a mischievous impression. You can take your issues to the Nigerian court. They are taking their cases to European courts. You can do that here in Nigeria. Yes.
No.
We don't have
Mr. Jala. I think we're not talking. We are not kind of maybe these are conjectures or whatever. You and I, who have been part of this football family in Nigeria for the past 3 decades or 4, have known so many times where, in fact, when President Goodluck Jonathan was here, I mean, FIFA did say they will ban us for interference. You understand? In government or person going to court. So basically, it has been there. And then you said the elections that brought into power was nullified. How come after the nullification, before they went to election, they are still there and they finished their tenure? Recognized by the Nigerian football, by Nigerian government, recognized by Nigerian sport, recognized by CAF, recognized by FIFA. So where comes how potent or how legit is your court that nullified their elections? How? Who recognized it?
Okay, Ken.
Yes.
This board? It's a product of what? It's a product of a court decision.
Okay.
Ken,
can you enlighten us? Can you enlighten us? Can you enlighten us?
That is what I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
The lower court's decision to stop the election.
Okay.
Was set aside by the Court of Appeal. That is the window they had. They were the people who went to Court of Appeal. That was the window they had to do that election. They didn't do that election against a court order. Are you not aware? They didn't do that election against a court order. They set aside that order. So the Guzos board is a product of a court decision. Okay. And they should also obey another court decision that nullified that decision.
Okay, I think I agree with you on that. I think I agree with you on that. I think it is that's as logical. That okay, fine. If you guys went to court,
this election you are talking about on the 27th or what
of September,
it's sub judice. But we go back to the Court of Appeal, and they cannot make their decision. Their decisions are not void.
But they can still go ahead. They can still go ahead and do the elections. Mr. Jala, they can still go ahead and do the elections, and like they did before, and nothing will still happen. Yes, and nothing will still happen.
No, you see, let me tell you, they cannot. You see, if you want to make progress, you make progress in peace. Nobody succeeds in crisis. The crisis you are seeing now is pre-election crisis. The post-election crisis is coming. So the best way, you can't shut people out and say people cannot challenge your decision. No, it's not right now.
So what to you will be the proper structure, that the ideal structure that you guys have in mind, you've been agitating for all this while? What would be the ideal structure for what it? I mean, we look at height. You said that there are five bodies that make up, that's supposed to be in the NF, the Football Association, and then so how do you want
the private sector,
including the private sector? Okay.
Okay, let me tell you, open it up today. If an Elumelu comes now to say you open it up to the private sector. If an Tony Elumelu now comes to say, look, I'm interested, I want to be president of Nigerian Football Federation. Stakeholders will vote for him. The stakeholders and the federating, you must open it up to people who have business ideas. They have to be part of the situation to ensure that we have a level playing field. So what we are asking for is a level playing field. It's not for one group. The weakest group in terms of knowledge in football to be running our affairs.
How do you call those who were voted for at state level as the weakest group? Is it in terms of performance that they've not done well at their level, or how? Because they were voted for. They were not appointed.
You see, Ken.
Yes.
Those people are supposed to vote. They are supposed to vote their candidate into the board, not to preside over an election that will bring in the entire board. It's not possible. All the 5 federating units plus, like the private sector will elect their people. That is what makes up a board. It's not a one group. You lock them in one room, and what result do you expect to get from a system where they are 7 in 44 persons?
Okay, can you give us numbers?
So every election,
yes, I know. Can you give us numbers of what you feel is the ideal? No, Mr. Jala, can you give us numbers or what you believe should be the ideal composition of the board?
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Bring in the private sector plus the 5 federating units.
Okay. How do you allocate numbers to the federating units? How do you allocate what numbers do you have? I'm asking you. What numbers now? Do you believe
you can allocate it equally to the private sector? You can allocate it equally.
No. Among the five federating units. That's what I'm saying here now. Because you are saying, look, it is. I mean, how do I say it? Unequally yoked. I'm 37 to about 2 or 3 or 4. How what to you will be ideal? Numbers that is allocated to each federating unit that will form the Nigerian Football Association.
If you bring in the private sector, three can make up the board.
Okay.
18 members.
All right. Okay, that should be 18 members. 3
can make up, and that 3 is not voted for by the Congress. No, the federating units should have their own Congress and elect the people that are suitable to represent their interests. That is the way it goes. You can't lump everybody together and you have majority and you keep returning back. You make up 15 members board, you make up 30 members board every 4 years, and our football is dying. That is unacceptable. That's where we are. It's not a business of the federal government. The federal government is not involved. It is the crisis is between stakeholders. You can't have 5 brothers and one takes over everything, and you expect peace to be in that house. It's not possible.
No, but the other federating units, are not complaining. It's only the players who are complaining. The coaches are not complaining. The referees are not complaining.
No, everybody is complaining. That is how you to get the best. They initially we led the advocacy, but they've joined us. They have seen that is the only way out.
No, give us names or give us the coaches. No. I say we doing it here. We call it as it is. Give us the coaches association, have they joined you? The referees association, have they joined you? And then, so you are talking about the school sport, the paramedic, which team apart from your group, which other group are joining your advocacy to say let us restructure the system. Give us. We are here. We are here. Yeah.
Yes, listen, Ken. Those who can speak, let them speak. We are talking about football. Football is beyond every group.
Okay.
It's beyond every group. We are talking those who have the capacity to talk. Let them talk. Those who think they have favor to benefit, if they will lose favor if they speak. They can sit down on their own. Those who want to speak should speak. People like Kanu Wanko, JJ Okocha, Ben Akwebu, Emenalo, and so on, Taribo Western, you don't use those people and dump them. Chegun Odebami and the rest of them, big names we have. Look at what Cameroon is doing. You bring them in. You must bring them in. If you don't bring them in, there will be chaos. That's where we are.
But Shegun has gone through this same route. Of course, he's threatened. He's also going to court. He has said so. He will go to court. I think probably will have them by next year, if possible. He is saying he's also going to court. Remember, he went to CAS, and that was almost about 2 decades ago. He went to CAS, and before he case reached in CAS, the one is challenging. Their tenure has already finished. You spend so much money, maybe 10,000, French francs to go and file and do and wait time and every other thing. So basically, the absence of CAS within our territories, a lot of things are all there. But those are the issues. But then the other people you mentioned are all ex-players which are in your own constituency. We want to see the coaches say the way you are saying. We want to see the referees say what you are saying. We want to see the women football say what you are saying. I mean, all those are the various confederations to make up the same confederation, isn't it? So let us see how those can do. But then, Mr. Jonathan, let us look at it this way. there have been so many times that you guys, even in your own players union, you guys have not been able to speak with one voice. Even as at now, I think there are discordant tones. There are maybe 2 or 3 bodies that make up the players union. How come, if you guys cannot unite as a team, how can you now present a common force to change the system?
You see, Ken, I'm not even in the first instance the right person to speak now, because we have a president in Tijani Babangida.
Yes,
that would have been the best person to address this. But what I can tell you is that PFAN is a product of an act of parliament. The issue of division within the players' union is not, it is the same group of people, the authorities, that are trying to split us and set confusion. But it is time to come together. You know, how long can they do that? They've been doing this. We are all still saying the same thing, that changes should come. It's not about any individual, Ken. We are not the problem we have today is not Guzo's problem. It's a systemic failure. Nobody is after Guzo. Nobody is after any individual. What we are asking for is that a change should come that will reflect the entire football family and bring in the private sector. The business angle must be driven by the private sector. You can't have people like Shoname and all these guys, and you are cutting them off from the system. It doesn't make sense. And you are bringing people who are novices and will be looking at you year after year. No, it doesn't work. Look at the efforts to go to FIFA. People went there to represent us. People went there to represent us in CAF and all that. What benefit did Nigeria get in all those things? They brought disgrace back to the country 2 times now, consecutively. We are not in the World Cup, and people want to still continue with the failure. No, now we'll resist it. We are not in a hurry for this change. If they don't want to make change, if they will see peace in the second round of their tenure, good for them. Because you cannot give what you don't have, and you cannot act in an atmosphere of crisis and chaos. There must be peace. You must carry everybody along. You can't. Football belongs to all Nigerians, and that's what brings the country together. That's what makes people happy. And look at it, in all that happened, again, our female football, they are bringing it down again. First time in over how many years? Since 1991. So we need, these changes must come. I don't think any FIFA can stop it, because FIFA don't restructure your football. FIFA is only telling you to follow due process. The due process is normalization committee. So the government is not even interfering in the first place. The National Sports Commission is a stakeholder in Nigerian football. They do the funding. Part of the funding they do. Okay. And they do so well, even more than FIFA. So we cannot see them as strangers. No, the National Sports Commission is a stakeholder in Nigerian football.
Okay.
So the issue we have, the crisis is within stakeholders. It's not government interference. It's within stakeholders. It's we that are saying no. Let us get it right. It's not the government.
Okay.
The government has no business, so you cannot talk about interference.
Okay. Briefly, maybe 60 seconds. In case, in spite of whatever you guys are asking for, this election, goes on the 27th, or probably there is because, like where I said, the freelance we're having is about 8 members have already resigned from the board. Okay, that election will not hold.
That election will not hold.
Okay, Mr. Jala, thank you so much for being part of this show. Where if it doesn't hold, we'll still bring you back. We'll still bring you back on this show, and so that we know the way forward. If before the 27th, anything happens, or after the 27th and the elections do hold, we'll get back to you guys and bring you on, and probably have a bigger house, a fuller house, to discuss this. Thank you so much, Mr. Jala, for being part of the show.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. Thank
All right. That is Mr. Harrison Jala. Supposedly we have somebody say, I remember growing up when I read about Samara Machel, then I want to say a rebel with a cause. I know that is what Harrison Jala is saying. You know, he is a rebel. So this is what we are going to. We want to restructure, let it be all inclusive, bring everybody to come together. But I tell you, the way he is looked at, anytime you mention Jala in Nigerian football, we say, oh my God, that guy is always causing one issue or the other. But then, like we say, he did something which is very, very instructive, that when you put brothers together in the house and they come out smiling, they said, you've not told yourself the truth. But when they, after discussing, they come back, everybody feel, he said, yes, that ventilation, they vented out everything that is supposed to be within this, the bottled up, that this is it. So I think it is time for us to do all that. We can't pretend that all is well. I mean, the monies are not coming in football-wise, competition-wise, in everything. We're lagging behind. But we want to take a very short break, and when we come back, we'll take you around sports around the world. It is Channel Sport on Sunday. Stay with us and go nowhere. All right, you're welcome back. That was some discussion with Mr. Harrison Jala. He's a former player. And then, like I said, they started the journey towards the Players Union in Nigeria. But that house, even as we say, look, Tijani Babangida is the president that has been this every time. We brought them here. We called them on. We've had Zoom discussions with this body, that body. I don't know. We just the rudiments, the foundation are the things that we really need before you want to achieve success. If the edifice is so, when you look at it, is so spectacular, so beautiful, but without an enduring foundation, without something that holding it, whatever the superstructure that you are seeing, will just collapse like a house built on quicksand. So the various houses has to be together. Various houses have to understand themselves. We'll go over there and see how many Nigerian. Will just luckily at least in this WAFCON we saw a Nigerian referee. How many of them the World Cup there's no Nigerian referee. I mean the physiotherapist, a lot of things, all the other areas that and then infrastructure. We looked at how many approved stadium does South Africa has, how many does Morocco has, how many does Tunisia has, how many do we have? Even our clubs are playing away from home. When they are supposed to be home, maybe Remo Stars will play attack on the up there before they go to Abuja. Rivers United will go to Uyo. I don't know. Kwara United will come to Lagos and stuff. So basically, I don't know what we've been doing. We've just been fighting and politicking and looking for your enemies anywhere. The people that are looking about the pathway to success, the forward that you need to go. No. If you are not part of being included, everybody wants to jostle. You want to go to the competition. You want to go to represent. You want to be match commissioner, and then you get your list sealed. At the end of the day, it backfires because when it happens, you now start crying. But you know that you have compromised. You don't know that it is because you have compromised. That is why, everything is falling out. Everybody's crying now. We didn't go to the World Cup. We didn't go to the this. But those who have been consistently, calling out the system have been labeled. Now, when you get labeled, how do you succeed? How? Let's talk those who are organizing themselves. So much money has been pumped into the EPL. The EPL has this crisis. They had this crisis. The EPL, but they look themselves in the mirror. When Europe banned England from competing in Europe for 10 years, they banned them after Liverpool fans went over there and against Juve. For 10 years, they said, you guys will not be part of this. Hooliganism must be checked. We cannot take this. And that is why we give kudos to this present MPFL board. Because they don't care whose ox is God. In fact, we saw the chairman of the MPFL. He is there when his state-owned team was relegated. He did nothing. He said, look, go out there. He said, no governor can call me. We asked him on this show, he said it. Nobody can come and say, go and compromise. Once you go again, they hold you there. Davis Wumi, he is there, a think tank, thinking about everything, how these things will move. The MPFL, we are now seeing progress. But the NFA, are we seeing progress? Are we seeing progress? Like I was talking about the EPL. The EPL, after they were banned, and then they now reduced that 5 years, that 10 years to 5 years. They came back. Nobody told them that in the committee of nations, you don't have to be the irresponsible one. The EPL behaved, and then they now went on to form the EPL from the old first division. And then people put their money, and every money coming from Europe, America, Russia, everybody's pumping their money. Almost all the teams there, private investors are putting their money, showcasing. England has not won the World Cup before or after 1966 when they hosted. That's all. So what other major championship have they won? But the league tackles, the money is there. The elite players go there to go and play. So let's start with where things work and hope that here too it works someday. Let's see the EPL results. It has started some 48 hours back when Arsenal took on Coventry and won by 3-0. They are the defending champions. They are starting the way they ended. So if we can get those results and see how the team fared. I know Arsenal did beat Coventry by 3-0. Manchester United lost to Hull. All right. Those are the Saturday's results. Well, I don't cut out the first one. Everton beating Crystal Palace by 2-0. Ipswich Town, of course, beating Sunderland. They just came up. I mean, this is good because two promoted sides, out of 3 picking victories is very rare. On very few occasions that you see this happening. Because in the past 5 seasons, they've just been only 4 wins in the opening day. By the teams that that got promoted. Nottingham Forest losing at home to Leeds. I think that is just the only away win so far. And Brentford trouncing Tottenham. That is a surprise. Of course, they are trying to build a team probably that they have not gelled to. More players are still coming. They are swooping on City. They are swooping on a lot of teams, and the rest of them all. So that result there was quite surprising. But the thing is that Brentford and Brighton are 2 teams that sells, and yet I think they have a very good scouting system, because the more they sell, the more they bring in players, and then they are still very, very competitive. You see them, jostling, being there. I don't think they can win the league, but they are not going down either. So they are doing very, very good business on Brighton and Brentford. I think I can talk that for those 2 teams. In spite of how many players they sell 100 million, they sell 80 million, they sell 85 million. They bring in good replacement, and that is it. But that is the result I'm talking about here. Hull City versus Manchester United. How are the mighty Manchester United falling from a team that got up here, and here they are picking that victory. So you see Ipswich and Hull winning in their first game. But for Manchester United, another story. They moved from 7th, the other 17th, or how many times that were there, almost getting on relegation themselves and Spurs, and they moved on to 3rd last season, and we thought, yes, they have arrived. But here they are being brought back to earth, reality, by the Hull side, that struck twice in the first half, and then United couldn't even come back again. So that is the EPL, and today there will be fixtures. I think about 3 fixtures, 3 games to be played today in the EPL. Manchester City facing Bournemouth. Okay, we are going to La Liga. All right, they are taking us straight to La Liga. I thought we are still in. I thought we are still in the EPL. We can have anyone you guys want to have. We can have that. If you want us to have the EPL, we'll go there. But I think the EPL, yes, that is the thing. Brighton, Aston Villa. Manchester, no, it's not Manchester United. Manchester City, Manchester City taking on Bournemouth, and then Newcastle taking on Liverpool. Manchester City, the citizens, after the exit of Pep Guardiola, they lost some key players. We saw Savinho leaving. We saw Rodri leaving. Probably Omar Mamouche might also leave. I don't know. Maresca, which are the players that he wants to use to prosecute this season. They lost by 3-0 against Arsenal at the Charity Shield. But that is what the Charity Shield people say. It doesn't most times doesn't reflect on the final outcome of where the teams are placed at the end of the season. So that is it. So okay, let's go to La Liga. I just showed the La Liga games yesterday. Real Madrid, won it at the death against Espanyol, and then it was 1-1 until right there in the 90th. I think a few added minutes, and that was it. So you have Athletic Club losing 1-3 to Sevilla. Oh my God! We tried. You guys are just pulling these things up as you are bringing them in. So like I think we're looking at the results of the La Liga games, and then you guys just chunked it off. But I do know that today games will be going on, but we're still trying to get the other results happening there in Europe. Of course, in the Bundesliga, it was just the DFB Cup, the Super Cup that were played, and then that one, it was the same, the usual suspect, Dortmund losing to Bayern Munich. So by this weekend, when they start, that is what you're going to see the real games are taking place. I don't know why this thing is not staying, but that is Real Madrid in their victory, away win, the first for the returning Jose Mourinho picking that win, and I thought he will gladden his heart. Jude Bellingham, we saw him at the World Cup, Mr. Assist, assisting more than any other thing, scoring, and I think he should be one of those players for the MVP. Of course, did go to Rodri, but he was in the mix. If you were to pick who was your valuable player at the World Cup, with the number of goals and number of assists he gave the Three Lions, it's not surprising that he is the one that now started opening the show for Jose Mourinho in his second missionary journey at the Bernabeu. So basically, we are going to see a lot. Barcelona, I think they will come into, they'll play in today. And when they do that, is it going to be another duopoly? Atletico Madrid, it's been long they showed any intent, but then they also acquired some players with Diego Simeone, one of the longest serving managers in the whole of the Europe Elite League. Before he came in, the manager's table at Atletico was like a revolving door. In some seasons they used about three managers in some season, but he came in, stabilized the system. Apart from the Holy Grail that he's yet to win the Champions League, and they are hoping against hope that if there is one man who has played for Atletico, who is managing Atletico, it has to be the Argentine Diego Simeone. Nobody can forget that is little incident between himself and David Beckham at the 1998 World Cup, where Beckham was down. He brought when he was down, Beckham raised his leg and he fell and rolled over. David Beckham got a red card, and Diego Maradona said, "Oh, that is sweet. I love the way he did it." I don't know where he's sweet. Diego was something else. God bless his soul up there, but he was something else. He entertained on and off the pitch while he was here. Okay. Well, I briefly mentioned about what is happening in FIFA, because as it is happening at home, that's how it is happening abroad. That is, but let me first apologize that we couldn't take your calls today. We're having some challenges. I know a lot of you are ready. Probably going from now on, we shall start and see if we can start taking your messages on X, on message on our Facebook pages. We shall give that to you so that you can send in your messages, so that if you can't call, we will just be there to read your message. I know you are following this show. A lot of you have been calling after and say, why can't you? That is the highlight for you guys. We hear your voices, you interact with us, and then you vent. Why is it the vent? That means like your anger. No, I think you express your opinion. You express your opinion on this show, and we don't take it for granted. We always look forward to you guys calling. So please just bear with us. I hope we will finally rectify this between now and next weekend. This show is unique in the fact that on all the shows we have here, that is I'm one of the two that you call in and express your views. We won't deny you that right and that pleasure. The pleasure actually is ours to hear from you. So we're talking about Infantino with his novel ideas. I spoke with someone who says, Ken, under normal circumstances, we should be celebrating that 40 million will be coming into to our federations in Africa. which was probably why the 54-member CAF is supporting him and say, look, we need this money for development. We need it. But the thing is, the monies that they have been bringing, let's hope that this EFCC and ICPC probe that they want to probe, finances that have entered, and then they should go back. They shouldn't start from 2 or 3 years ago. They should go back maybe 10, 15 years from when the FIFA Go project, the $1 million that are coming in. Tell us what you have been doing with it. It is our money. And then so, normally the thing is this. The Nigerian Football Federation this is part of what has been happening, and they see it at norm. And we see things, I would not say it. I don't know whether we just accept it. Because when the state government started hosting the team, the Super Eagles, and pick up all the tabs, these bills are still being sent. Being sent to the government. It is there. It is captured in the budget, and it is captured in supplementary budget, in whatever it is. So you collect money from this. You collect, the state government takes all the expenses, and so where does the money that you collected from the government goes? All these things have been there, and it seems normal. But at the end of the day, of course, their books are being audited, and once they submit those audited books, we all say, yeah, all is well. All right. I don't know. We've done all that. And then probably this is where we want to say, I want to call it a day. It's been a pleasure, but it would have been more pleasurable if we heard from you. And I tell you this, by next week, I do hope, let me not promise and fail, but I do hope we will rectify that. And like we say always, as we battle for the soul of Nigerian football, God bless Nigeria.